Have you ever wondered where a passion for talking and listening can take you? Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Marcus, and today you're tuning into Daily Chat English, a show all about sharing stories and practicing real, usable English together. Picture this: a curious kid growing up surrounded by books and rainy Oregon mornings, dreaming of the world beyond his window. Sound familiar to any of you? Maybe you're sitting there thinking, Marcus, can curiosity really change your life? Let me tell you, it absolutely can. On today's episode, I'll take you behind the scenes from my first shaky travel video all the way to turning a passion for communication into a career. We'll explore the idea of content creation, which just means making videos, stories, and podcasts for the world to see, and audience engagement. That's a fancy term for connecting with amazing people like you. Think of content creation like planting seeds. You never know what will grow, but you have to start somewhere. Audience engagement? Imagine hosting a dinner party where everyone is invited. That's the spirit I bring to this show. In the next few segments, I'll share how my love for travel and stories became my job, the challenges no one sees online, and why your own voice, yes, yours, matters in the world. Ready for a journey that's equal parts adventure, honesty, and inspiration? Let's get started. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a living room filled with stacks of books, every table, every shelf, even a few corners on the floor. That was my childhood, thanks to my mom, who's a librarian. Now you might be thinking, Marcus, did all those books actually inspire you to travel? Absolutely. There's a term called cultural literacy. That's just being familiar with different places, ideas, and histories. For me, flipping through travel books was like having a passport in my hands before I could even spell passport. Growing up in Portland, with its evergreen trees and laid-back culture, I learned another important concept: community. Portlanders value open-mindedness and kindness, and those values stuck with me as I dreamed about distant mountains and bustling cities. Looking back, I realized my curiosity wasn't always appreciated in school. Teachers would tell my parents, "Marcus asks too many questions." But isn't that what learning is about? Curiosity is the engine, and questions are the fuel. Together they drive us forward. So if you're ever told you're too curious or ask too many questions, take it as a compliment. It's the first step on any great adventure, and for me, it was the spark that started everything. Let's talk about those first big steps after high school. I chose to study communications, which is all about learning how people share ideas, whether in writing, speaking, or using media like podcasts and videos. Maybe you're wondering, Marcus, why communications? Well, picture storytelling as building a bridge from your world to someone else's mind. And media production, that's just the set of tools that lets you build that bridge faster and stronger. During college, I started a small travel blog. Simple posts about road trips, funny mishaps, and beautiful sunsets. At first, no one read them except my friends. But then, strangers began leaving comments. That's what we call organic growth, when something catches on naturally without advertising. I had a realization. What if sharing my adventures could actually become my job? What if I could turn my blog into videos, and those videos into a YouTube channel? It sounded impossible, but sometimes the best ideas do. So, if you're on the edge of trying something new, remember, the only way to know if your bridge will stand is to start building it, one step at a time. Let's rewind to my first YouTube upload: shaky camera, nervous voice, clumsy edits. It's called beginner's syndrome, and trust me, every creator experiences it. Think of it like riding a bike. You wobble, maybe fall, but eventually, you get better. Some of you might be asking, Marcus, didn't you feel embarrassed posting imperfect work? Absolutely. But there's a term for this: iteration. That simply means improving step by step, making each video a little better than the last. Slowly, my audience grew 10, 100, 1,000 subscribers. It's what marketers call momentum, when small efforts start to add up and suddenly you're moving faster than you expected. But behind every minute of video, There were hours of shooting, editing, and second guessing. Sometimes I'd think, is anyone watching? Is this worth it? And if you've ever tried something new, learning English, recording a podcast, you know that feeling too. The lesson? Progress isn't always glamorous, but every small victory, every comment from a stranger, every new subscriber, those are the milestones that keep you climbing. Let's get real for a moment. The life of a travel content creator isn't always palm trees and perfect sunsets. There's a concept called behind-the-scenes reality, the part of the story no one sees on Instagram. Maybe you're thinking, Marcus, what's so hard about traveling for a living? Here's the truth. It means heavy gear, changing time zones, missing friends, and working when everyone else is relaxing. That's content logistics, the practical planning, carrying, and organizing that goes into making videos. Sometimes I get tired. Lonely. I wonder if the sacrifices are worth it. But then a message pops up. Marcus, your video inspired me to book my first trip. That's what I call purpose validation, the moment you remember why you started in the first place. And if you're struggling to learn a language or trying something new, you know this cycle. The challenges, the doubts, and finally, those moments of real connection that make it all worthwhile. So next time you see a polished travel video, remember, there's a whole world of effort behind it. And that world is where real growth happens. Let's wrap up with the heart of today's episode. Why I do what I do, and what I hope you take away from it. First, 3 big lessons. Curiosity fuels discovery. Perseverance turns dreams into reality. And every story, yours included, deserves to be heard. If you're thinking, Marcus, can my own experiences really matter? Let me assure you, yes, they can. There's a term called narrative empathy, which means understanding others through their stories. And there's global citizenship, the idea that we all belong to a bigger human family. Here's one concrete step you can take. Share your story, even in simple English. Make a post, record a voice note, or just start a conversation. Every word is practice. Every story is a bridge. Next time, we'll dive into practical ways to grow your confidence in English real-world tips, funny mistakes, and how to turn nervousness into strength. Curious how to sound more like a native speaker? That's coming up. For now, keep learning, keep exploring, and remember, your voice matters. If this episode helped you, share it or leave a comment. Until next time on Daily Chat English, goodbye, and keep dreaming big.